You know, guys, sometimes when I see stories like this, I feel like dancing, man. And I was just wondering why the South African Human Rights Commission has been so quiet lately. And I came across this article. So right now, it seems like the South African Human Rights Commission are busy licking their wounds because they have lost a court case against Operation Dudula on healthcare access. I mean, the message of Operation Dudula has been quite clear that we don't want illegal foreigners in this country. And we know that the illegal foreigners that are in this country, they are abusing the resources that are meant for the people of this country. We know that the ANC has collapsed the borders. This useless government does not even know the number of illegal foreigners we have in this country. But somehow, they expect South Africans to pay for the healthcare, for the shelter, and for the security of these people. It is totally unacceptable. And somehow, the South African Human Rights Commission has a problem with that. I mean, guys, if we lived in a sane country, the South African Human Rights Commission would be on the side of Operation Dudula. Because the mandate of the South African Human Rights Commission is to protect the human rights of South Africans, not to protect the human rights of illegal foreigners and to condone criminality. But it seems like this organization that is led by a bunch of foreigners have actually made it their mandate to protect the illegal foreigners in this country and to condone criminality. So now they have actually taken Operation Dudula to the courts and they have lost. They have lost, and I am happy. So, according to this article that came out from the SABC, they are saying that Operation Dudula has welcomed the judgment of the High Court in Durban against the South African Human Rights Commission. On Friday, the court dismissed with the cost the Commission's agent interdict against the barring of foreign nationals from accessing healthcare from the state hospitals and clinics. Judge David Sachs said Commission's application was an abuse of court processes. I'm happy that somebody is actually willing to call out South African Human Rights Commission for what they've been doing. This is what they've been doing. They have been abusing the court processes with a lot of issues. Guys, you remember the last time when those people were stuck in that shaft, when those illegal miners were stuck in the shaft, and the whole country saying that you need to smoke those people out. The South African Human Rights Commission, they took the South African government to the courts and forced the South African government to give these people that are mining illegally in this country everything that they want. This is why I'm saying that this commission is paid for by hardworking South Africans, but they are working against the South Africans. How does it make any sense for you to take the government to the courts to give the people that are mining illegally everything that they want? And now these people there in the shaft, they were starting to make ridiculous demands that no, we want beef, we want pork. I like this cologne of Carpe Diem. Please give me a Carpe Diem. They were making ridiculous demands. And the South African cause, the South African government had no choice but to give these people everything that they want, because the court said, yeah, the South African Human Rights Commission is right. You must give these people everything that they want. Despite the fact that these people are committing criminality, give them everything that they want. So now Judge David says that no, these people are abusing the court processes. And he has actually dismissed this case with the cost. So now, as South Africans, we're going to pay because the South African Human Rights Commission has decided to take Operation Dudula to the courts because Operation Dudula wants the law to be enforced. They are taking Operation Dudula to the courts because they don't want the law to be enforced. This is what you need to understand. The South African Human Rights Commission, they want lawlessness in this country. They want a situation where the illegal foreigners can do as they please. They want the illegal miners to do as they please. And they will be going to the courts to defend these people if needs be. This is the reason why they are fighting so hard against Operation Dudula, is because they do not want the law to be enforced. They don't want the law to be forced. Operation Dudula leader Zandile Dabula has condemned the actions of the useless South African Human Rights Commission and says the lobby group should be protecting South Africans. Quote, whose side are they on? They are not on the side of South Africans. It does not take a rocket scientist to actually figure out that the South African Human Rights Commission are not on the side of South Africans, even though they are paid for by hardworking South African taxpayers, they are not on the side of the people that are paying their salaries. Whose side are they on? Taking us to court shows that they are siding with foreign nationals. They were supposed to call both parties and try to mediate, not this thing of taking sides. There is absolutely nothing wrong with what we are doing here. We have done nothing wrong here. We are just making sure that the law is enforced. So this is what the leader of Operation Dudula says.
I thought I should just update you on this. Izolo was the 10th of October. As you would know, that South African Human Rights Commission summoned us to court, and we went to court. And after court, we then decided with some patriots, let's go and support Bafana Bafana, because there was a soccer match between Zimbabwe and South Africa in Moses Mabhida Stadium. And we went, and I must say, I sat there and I observed the attitude of South Africans towards foreigners. Guys, we are sitting on a time-ticking bomb. Now, it even went to a point where South Africans were like, now, this was because of the attitude, the arrogance.
So what Zandile is basically saying, guys, to the people who do not understand Zulu, is she says that there were South Africans that were so pissed off to say that we don't even want to sit with these people, go and sit on that side. And she's actually warning that this is a ticking time bomb. And we have been warning that this is a ticking time bomb. It's only a matter of time before this bomb explodes.
Some Zimbabweans bad guys. And South Africans are like, not here. That was the attitude that I've observed is all. South Africans are hurtful. And if government is not going to do anything about this immigration crisis we are facing as a country, we are on a time-ticking bomb. It's going to explode anytime soon. And I don't think government is ready for that.
I mean, these people are not going to do anything about this issue of the illegal foreigners, because now they are importing the voters. We saw that they are giving these people IDs. So they are importing the voters. They don't care about what average South Africans are feeling. They don't care about these cries of ours as South Africans. If anything, they are sending out the likes of Thabo Mbeki to try to shame groups like Operation Dudula, to attack Operation Dudula, and all South Africans that are saying that, no, we cannot pay for the healthcare, security, and shelter of these people that are in this country illegally. These people that are in this country illegally, they must be deported. So now, Thabo Mbeki, as usual, he's on stage trying to lecture South Africans about this issue.
That understanding among our people, which is very, very old, that South Africa is part of the continent, South Africa is part of the African diaspora. That's part of what hurts me when I see things like Operation Dudula. It hurts. We can't position ourselves as though we're enemies of other Africans. It's not right. There are problems we've got to solve in this country, and we can't say those problems are solved by people who have migrated to South Africa. We've caused problems. But I'm saying that's where we come from. And Tiosoga was saying, rather than perishing, Africa will rise. That even the Bible was saying that. So I think that for our foundation, if I make a claim to say that's our mother and father, what Tiosoga said 175 years ago, we must also ask ourselves, what are we doing to fulfill this vision that Soga had, that Africa will rise?
I mean, Thabo Mbeki, we are not living to fulfill anybody's wish. And I don't know why people continue to take Thabo Mbeki seriously, man. Like, I don't take Thabo Mbeki seriously. Like, honestly, I don't take Thabo Mbeki seriously. Thabo Mbeki is nothing but a hypocrite. You remember this guy last year, before the elections, a couple of months before the elections, you remember Thabo Mbeki telling South Africans that it is not going to be possible for him to campaign for the ANC. because the ANC, it is a criminal organization that is led by criminals, and saying that it is going to be hard for him to tell South Africans to vote for these criminals that are running for the African National Congress. Then, just before the elections, we saw Thabo Mbeki there in Maponya Mall handing out the pamphlets with the face of Ramaphosa. I literally saw Thabo Mbeki in Qwaqwa. I was in Qwaqwa. I remember that week we had a funeral in Qwaqwa. I saw Thabo Mbeki and Cyril Ramaphosa in Qwaqwa doing a rally for the African National Congress. And I knew that this guy should not be taken seriously. He should not be taken seriously because he has this tendency of saying things that he knows that South Africans wants to hear. He knows that South Africans wants to hear that the ANC, it is a corrupt institution, it is corrupted, and it will never be fixed. And he told South Africans that he will never go out and tell South Africans to vote for a political party that is led by criminals. This is what South Africans wants to hear. But come the elections, that Thabo Mbeki was there campaigning for the ANC. And I knew that, no, this guy is not even supposed to be taken seriously. He's not supposed to be taken seriously. I cannot take the politicians seriously on this issue of the illegal foreigners because we are not living the same. Guys, you saw the house of Sibia. You saw the house of Maumela. You saw the house of Ramaphosa. These people, they live in huge houses that has huge walls with electric fences. And they expect us, average South Africans who live in the townships, to live with these people that are coming outside of this country, but they don't have to do with that. The politicians in this country, they are advocating for something that they do not have to experience. That's why I don't understand why people are clapping hands for Thabo Mbeki, because Thabo Mbeki is totally detached from the realities that many South Africans are facing. Many of these politicians that are talking to us, that are telling us about illegal immigration and One Africa, they live in the areas that even you as a South African, you are not even allowed to get in. They live in gated areas. The same people that are complaining about Orania and Orania, black people cannot get in, what they are doing in Orania, it is not okay. The same politicians, they live in their own Oranias because in these gated communities, as an average South African, you cannot just go there and walk in those streets. They have security guards at every entrance. They live in their own Oranias. They don't have to experience what average South Africans are experiencing. Their children don't have to experience what the children of average South Africans are experiencing. But somehow, they have the audacity to stand on stage and to advocate for things that they know that are not going to impact them. How can you expect the whole, like South Africa to pay for healthcare of everybody in this country? It is unsustainable. Even if this is something that we wanted to do as South Africa, the thing is that in practical, we cannot do it. It cannot be done. Even the Minister of Health or the Minister of Finance of the ANC, Ino Godongwana, was also questioning this thing to say, but guys, this pressure that we are putting on the mayors to make sure that everything is there, it is unfair. It is unfair because the hospitals, the clinics, they do not have enough resources to take care of everybody else. And since we know that we have limited resources in this country, we would actually like to preserve those resources for South Africans. But no, not according to the politicians. The politicians are telling us about the SOGA, and he's telling us about this. We have to fulfill this wish of SOGA at our own expense. Thabo Mbeki can go to hell. Honestly, he can go to hell. We are not here to fulfill any of their promises or any of their wishes. I'm not here to fulfill the wish of Mandela. I'm not here to fulfill the wish of anybody. I am here to fight for South Africans and to ensure that we as South Africans, we are not robbed by this thieving, corrupt government. I'm not here to fulfill any I'm not here. Like, you are telling us about SOGA. To hell with that SOGA of yours. To hell with that SOGA of yours. South Africans are being cut in the lines right now. There are people that are dying because they are not getting the treatment. Then you are standing there and telling us about this quote that this guy has said 175 years ago. To hell with that quote. To hell with that quote. To hell with you. And to hell with that. To hell with that. But I like the fact that Mr. Matonjwa has made it very clear why the likes of Thabo Mbeki are saying whatever that they want to say. In just 30 seconds, David Matonjwa makes it very clear.
He can't talk anything about foreign illegals in this country. The reason they've got a financial interest all over Africa. They run their businesses. Hence, he cannot shout and say, hey, you are an illegal Congolese. Hey, we are an illegal Malawian. Hey, we are illegal so and so. No, he cannot say that because I'm an interest. Okay. Now what you say? What are you talking about? So, we must lose our sovereignty as a country just because of his financial interest.
And we know that the likes of Thabo Mbeki, they have the business interest all over Africa. This is the absolute truth. We know that Thabo Mbeki has business interest in Africa. But that's why he's saying this nonsense that he's saying right now. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with humanity. It has everything to do with him using his own influence to make the leaders of these countries that are totally broken down, that their people are coming to South Africa to feel good about what they are doing, instead of them confronting these people to say, but guys, now that you are mismanaging your countries, you are bringing a lot of problems for us as South Africans. I mean, the day we actually have a president of the country that will call these presidents one by one and tell them that, guys, you are causing a lot of problems for us. Because Mnangagwa, if you mismanage Zimbabwe, these Zimbabweans, they come to South Africa. And I don't want to deal with that. The day we have a president like that, we would have a patriot in the union building. But as long as we have the likes of Cyril Ramaphosa, as long as we have the likes of Thabo Mbeki, we are not going to see any progress.
The reason they've got a financial interest all over Africa. They run their businesses. Hence, he cannot shout and say, hey, you are an illegal Congolese. Hey, we are an illegal Malawian. Hey, we are illegal so and so. No, he cannot say that because I'm an interest. Okay. Now what you say? What are you talking about? So, we must lose our sovereignty as a country just because of his financial interest.
Yes. It's what he's saying.
You can't have a country that has got 27 million foreigners.
It is insane, man. It is insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Right now, South Africans right now, they are pushed to a point where they have to fight for the job opportunities with these people that are in this country illegally. But according to Thabo Mbeki, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You people can fight for the for the employment opportunities with these people that are coming outside of this country. They have passed the Bela Bill. The Bela Bill says that the children of the illegal foreigners can be enrolled into public schools without providing any documentation. But somehow, South African parents are ordered, they are instructed to have their documents if they want to enroll their children into schools. It's fine. You can deal with that. You can deal with that. And I like Operation Dudula because they did not take the utterances of Thabo Mbeki lying down. They have actually released a statement responding to Thabo Mbeki actually calling Operation Dudula this thing. So this is the statement that they have released yesterday on social media, and it says that for immediate release, dear former President Thabo Mbeki, Operation Dudula is not this thing. Operation Dudula has noted with regret the dishonest and hypocritical statement made by former President Thabo Mbeki, referring to Operation Dudula as this thing. Dear former President Thabo Mbeki, Operation Dudula is not this thing. We are a political party with foundations in South African communities and military veterans. You would do well, Mr. Former President, to enjoy your pensions and your newly found hobby of photography and allow South Africa's young people to address the invasion of our country by the illegal foreigners. Yes, guys, we are being invaded. One of the most pressing issues we face today is the unchecked influx of illegal foreigners, which has severely impacted our social cohesion, economic stability, and public safety. This crisis did not arise overnight. It is a direct consequence of weak border controls and the lack of decisive leadership during your tenure as the president. They are right. The failure to secure our borders effectively allowed this problem to grow unchecked, contributing to a rising of crimes, unemployment pressures, and strained public services. The responsibility for this situation lies with those who held power and neglected these essential duties. Operation Dudula is committed to working together with all South Africans who want to restore order, security, and dignity in our communities. We believe that addressing the illegal immigration issue decisively and compassionately, we can build a safer and more prosperous future for our country and for the generations to come. It is a task of a national agency, and we call on all leaders, past and present, to support this collective effort for the good of South Africa. Former President Thabo Mbeki, allow Operation Dudula together with South Africans to fix your mess for the sake of our country and for the future of our children. Oh my goodness. Woo. Yes, I agree with them 100%. I agree with them 100%. I agree with him. Thabo Mbeki coming here with the lectures. He thinks that he can lecture us. Thabo Mbeki actually thinks that he can lecture us. No, man, Thabo Mbeki must continue to build his library, which is a good thing as a former state president. Do things like that, have a library, write the books, and do this photography thing of his carrying a camera on his chest. I absolutely has no problem with that. But I'm not going to sit here and actually take it when Thabo Mbeki tells me about some philosopher that we must live to fulfill the wishes of at the expense of South Africans. No, we are not going to allow that. We are not going to allow that. And guys, speaking of this issue of the illegal foreigners, there's a story that has actually angered a lot of South Africans. And I think this is the reason why the president of Operation Dudula, Zandile Dabula, says that this is a ticking time bomb and it is only a matter of time before this bomb go off. And it looks like the government is not willing to address this issue. But guys, this article came out, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. It says that the Zimbabwean couple arrested in Northern Cape for illegally operating pharmacy and dagga sales. A Zimbabwean couple was arrested in number 2 area of Khalishewe, Kimberley, Northern Cape, after police uncovered an illegal pharmacy where they were selling unregistered medicine and dagga. The operation was carried out by the Kimberley Public Order Policing Unit in collaboration with the Hawks following a tip-off from the community. During the raid, the law enforcement officials discovered shelves stacked with various unregistered medicines and seized 180,000 rands in cash believed to be proceeds from the illegal sales. The couple, aged 34 and 35, were arrested and charged with the unlawful possession of the sale of medicines. The Hawks have confirmed that investigations are ongoing to determine whether the couple is linked to a similar operation in the Northern Cape. Authorities are urging the public to report any suspicious activities to assist in curbing such illegal operations. This arrest highlights the ongoing efforts by the law enforcement agencies to combat the illegal sale of medicine and drugs in the region, ensuring the safety and the well-being of the community. I remember when Zandile Dubula says that there are actually syndicates in this country that are stealing the medicine. And people said that, no, you are telling the lie, man. Like, there is not a syndicate that is stealing the medicine. And Zandile Dubula from Operation Dudula, she has actually made it clear that some of these people that are going to the clinics and to the hospitals, they are only going there, man, just to look at the loopholes, maybe to look at the storages where everything is stored, so that they can steal some of these things. And they painted her as insane. And last week, guys, you remember it was merely last week. You remember it was last week when it was reported that a man has been caught at the border driving a truck full of the boxes, and these boxes were full of medicine. And the president of the country was asking, guys, why don't the clinics have medication? Why don't the clinics have medication? And where is Operation Dudula when medication is being stolen? You would think that Operation Dudula would maybe release a statement with the seizing of assets of Maumela to say that we want the law to be applied here because these people have actually stolen from the people of Tembisa. They have stolen from the people that are literally sick in Tembisa. South African Human Rights Commission is nowhere to be found. Now we are learning of this medication that has been stolen in this country. And where is the South African Human Rights Commission? The South African Human Rights Commission is nowhere to be found. The only time that the South African Human Rights Commission is active is when you do or say something to the illegal foreigners. If I say something about the illegal foreigners, they will be there releasing the statements and taking me to court. But when they hear that there are people that are stealing the money that is supposed to go to the hospitals, they are stealing the resources that are supposed to go to the hospitals to help the poor citizens of this country, there is nowhere to be found. This is why I cannot take the South African Human Rights Commission seriously, because they are more occupied with stopping Operation Dudula instead of being occupied with the issues that are facing South Africans directly. When the likes of Maumela are stealing the 2 billion that is meant for Tembisa Hospital, they are basically stealing the resources that are supposed to be helping the poor citizens of Tembisa. And where is the South African Human Rights Commission? Where are they to protect the human rights of South Africans? They are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I'm happy that they've actually lost this court case. And shout out to Judge Sachs for actually exposing these people for what they are. And exposing their game plan. That they are just abusing the court processes. Thank you to the judgment. Guys, what are your thoughts? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Maba, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.